Right. Well, may I have your attention? You can keep eating, but I am going to give a talk. It was as advertised about my new book called Voice from the Ladder. And this talk will last about 10 minutes, and it involves audience participation. And I would love to hear your thoughts and to converse with you as we go. So to give you an idea about the cake that was offered at lunch, it said more than 50% Orthodox. And the reason that was there is because I am 44 years old this year, and I was baptized Orthodox Christian 22 years ago, thus allowing me to say I've been Orthodox most of my life. And I see a couple of people here who are actually at that baptism, so thank you for sticking it out with me. Hello. I'm recording this talk because I'm hoping to give it at another event about Christian authors, and so I was going to make the recording to send to them. So I'm going to start out. I want to play a literary game with you, and that's what this board is. And what this game is about is the characters surrounding the main character of a story. So what we have here is Star Wars to start with, and the main character is Luke Skywalker. Now the characters surrounding Luke we're going to be talking about and deciding what roles they fill. So we have the villain over here, who is Grand Moff Tarkin. And then over here, we have Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, R2-D2, Princess Leia, C-3PO, and Han Solo. The characters' roles that they can fill, this is an exercise called the Unity of Opposites, meaning that each of these characters form pairs that complement each other. So we have Protector, which is the character who protects and tries to keep going the values and goals of the main character. The Deflector, who tries to substitute in a different set of values. The Feeler, who is quite frequently the one who shoots first and asks questions later, and is impulsive, works straight from the heart. The Thinker, well, the person who plans things out is more thoughtful. And then there's the Believer and the Doubter, which is the person who, the believer is the one who believes in everything that the hero wants to do and is very fervent, and the doubter is the one who doesn't want to go forward with the quest as much. And so, what I'm going to have you do is these things are all Velcroed on. I'm going to be having you help me decide where to put the characters or which character to put in each slot. So, who do you think is Luke Skywalker's primary protector? Good. Okay. So we'll take him here and put him in protector role. So yes, he is protecting Luke Skywalker's value system. Now, who is trying to divert him onto a different one? Yep. And also note, he's not the villain in the first movie. He's working for the villain, but he's not the villain. And they only come in briefly into contact, but he's definitely trying to throw Luke Skywalker off of his goal towards becoming a Jedi. All right, who do you think we could call the feeler of this? Han Solo? Okay. And we'll put him here. Who would we call the thinker of this operation? Okay, well, I'm going to go with Princess Leia. She's the senator, she's the ambassador, she's the one that plans things out. And so she's the one who's Yeah, thinking things through. All right, and then we have the believer and the doubter. Who do you think is the believer in this cause? Yeah. Yep, he's the one who's fervently chasing Obi-Wan through the whole plot. And so he's the believer. And who's the one who says, we're doomed? Okay, there you go. And so this is an exercise you can do as you're watching a movie or reading a book to see how these characters complement each other. For us writers that give us these exercises to think, so you have your main character, something happens, one of the side characters needs to say something. So the question is, well, who should say it? And then what should they say because of what they believe in or don't believe in? And if you want to go, I suppose one more thing about this exercise, if you want to go in for a thematic analysis of this, Luke Skywalker is representing faith, and Grand Moff Tarkin is representing technology. And it's a fight between Luke Skywalker's belief or desire to become acquainted with the Force versus Grand Moff Tarkin's belief that the Death Star is this greatest technology, can dominate everything. Okay, so we have some more choices for 2 more rounds of this game we can play together. So how many Firefly fans do we have here? Okay, we've got 5. Okay, how about who has seen the movie Toy Story and liked it? Okay, maybe that one will work a little better. All right, and then what was the third choice? Let's see, well, that's going to be the third one. And Toy Story, and yep, here we go. Okay, so it's going to take me a sec to get these guys up on the Velcro, but there we go. Okay, Rex. Uh-oh, I'm short a couple. Okay. Okay, almost ready. I've lost a couple of characters, so this could be an issue. And come on. There we go. Okay, so we have the hero of Toy Story, of course, is Woody. The villain is Sid, the neighbor kid who likes abusing toys. So, who is Woody's protector? I guess I made the signs a little too small, so let me read them off here. Mr. Potato Head, Buzz, Rex, Andy, Ham, and the Slinky Dog. Andy. Yes, Andy is his protector, and the value that they share together is loyalty. They're very loyal to each other. All right, now, who is Woody's deflector, who makes things difficult for Woody? Buzz. Yep. Buzz, in addition to not being aware that he's a toy, is trying to send everything off in a different direction. Okay, so who could we call the feeler of this group of characters? Yes, Rex. He's the one who doesn't like confrontations, and he's the one who. Okay, and then who would we say is the thinker? No, Ham. Yeah, I think it's Ham. He's the one who's always, trying to think through what could be done. Okay, and then what role do you think Mr. Potato Head plays then? Yep, it's like, I don't know, something's not right here. And Then the last one is the slinky dog. He believes in Woody and in the plot extends himself, quite literally, out to help him. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to do one more, just one. And this one is going to be more church-oriented. Let's get... My camera operator is the choir director and is my wife, so I can't go on too long, because otherwise people will say, you know, Eric, keep going. We don't want to go to choir practice. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take this in a more religious or oriented direction, this being church, and we're going to take this from the perspective of the gospel. Now, this is, I should state for the record, this isn't, you know, professional theological analysis here, so ask your priest for additional advice. But, and that these characters these apostles aren't permanently in these one roles throughout their whole experience. But so in the Gospels, we have the center of the story, of course, is Jesus of Nazareth. The villain of the story is Pontius Pilate and his associated characters of, you know, Herod, Caiaphas, and others. But then those around him are playing these roles. So I'm going to start off with the easy one. Who is the doubter in the Gospels? Thomas. Right, the Apostle Thomas. That's real easy to put him down here, and that's also my patron saint. All right, and then who is the deflector?
Yeah, we can't read.
Oh, you can't read them, sorry. We have the Apostle John, the Apostle Judas, the Theotokos, the Apostle Luke, and the Apostle Peter. Yes, he's the one who's got other plans involved for this ministry. He wants to make money, and Jesus isn't listening to his attempts to come up with more revenue. And he's also embezzling from the cash box. Okay, who would we say then is the protector of this group? Yeah, I would say the Theotokos is the protector, both as she chases him back to the temple when he's 12 and he's snuck off, and other times when the crowd gets too large, she's concerned about him. All right, then, let's go to the feeler. Who do you think would qualify as the feeler of this group?
Peter.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Peter. Good choice. And he's the one who acts first. He's the one who acts first and asks questions later, and it gets him into all kinds of trouble, but it also provides us with all kinds of interesting stories to teach us about our own faith. And then we've got the last two, believer and thinker. Who do you think, who should we put in for thinker? You could go either way. I'm going to go with Luke for thinker. And both because he was a doctor and because the Gospel of Luke indicates a rich understanding of the Greek language, both of his phrasing and his thematics. And then for the believer, I'm going to go with the Apostle John, because he's the one who stuck with Jesus throughout the entirety of the crucifixion. And his gospel is much different than the other three gospels, very focused in on faith. So that's the game that I wanted to play with you, to talk about literature and such. And then I'm going to briefly, where did I put my book? Uh-oh. Here we go. I released book 3 a couple months ago. This is Voice from the Ladder. It is a book about a group of kids from the Camp St. Innocent summer camp who are going, first they go on a trip to Ukraine during a time of peace, I should point out. And they learn about humility and about how to work in a different culture as they have a construction project there. And there's also a story about the story then goes back to camp and then goes on a bike trip that goes awry when people get lost and people are making irresponsible decisions, but they have to humble themselves when they are rescued. So it's I should also point out all of this promotional material here, this tablecloth, this sign. I didn't make it just for this. I mean, I do like this event, but I made this for a book conference that I attended in Las Vegas last month about how to market and sell self-published books, and I learned huge amounts about it. And any of you who are have thought about book publishing, I really encourage you to pursue that. And I'll be signing these books. They're for sale down in the bookstore. We're going to have to come up with some. I'll sign the books. The fact that Susan is not here is something that'll require a little bit of working around, but I would like to give you a book, and I'll say that's the end of the talk, and thank you for coming.